All right, y'all. You know how Steppin. Marcus J is live. About to get this show started here tonight. We got a lot to get into. We got to talk about what happened yesterday on Lambeau Field with the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers. We're going to ask, what the hell is Fox News endorsing racial profiling? What's going on with the New York City cop work stoppage? Is it really causing crime to go down? And what this religious leader did to a young man, or a young person, I should say, to make them be a religious person will blow your mind. And you know how Steppin Marcus J is right now, y'all.
It's about that time. It's about that time to get
Button your lip, open your ears, strap on your thinking cap. Socially conscious talk that's entertaining with a dash of humor and the top sports stories of the week. It's time for Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J.
Sellers has Jordan. Jordan with 2 seconds to go. Puts it up and scores at the buzzer. Michael Jordan has won it for Chicago. Manning lobs it. Burris alone. Touchdown, New York.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. He hits one deep to right center. That ball is out of here. The Yankees win the pennant.
If they lying, then they must be half stepping. And you know how Steppin Marcus J is live. We are back here in the building, so be down with us tonight at 804-402-2893 to be part of the flagship show right here, live from the den of Legacy Internet Radio. Thank y'all, everybody, for tuning in to us here tonight. We got a live show for y'all, a lot to get into. I want to thank everybody that is checking in with us right now at the very beginning of the show, checking in, listening to us on TuneIn. You probably checked in from the Legacy Internet Radio website at www.legacyinternetradio.com. And of course, a special thank you to everybody that is listening to the replays right now on YouTube. We send every single show that we do broken up in pieces, so you don't have to listen to the whole show. You can kind of navigate which pieces you like to listen to, so you can listen to us at your leisure. So we are available on YouTube. Check out legacyinternetradio.com. Check out Legacy Internet Radio on Facebook. Ain't No Half Steppin with Marcus J on Facebook, or any of the participants on our shows. You'll see links on all of our personal pages. So we appreciate it. Our show is sponsored by Live Action Captions as well as Free Spirit Enterprises. We'll have a specific word from each of them later on in the show. If you want to be a part of it, give us a call at 804-402-2893. And now that we've got all the particulars out of the way, I want to go ahead and introduce the crew that we have with you here at the start of the show. And of course, you hear her every single second Monday of the month right here, live from the den of Legacy Internet Radio. You got my sister, Miss Tony, is here. What's up, y'all? What's going on?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Huh? You looking all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed over there. What's up with that? You all smiling and stuff?
Because it's Monday and it's cold and rainy.
Yeah, it's nasty out.
Note the sarcasm.
Yeah, it's nasty out. So that was kind of like, it was kind of like fake and stuff.
Yeah, but it looked good.
Yeah, it did. It did. I like the big smile and stuff. And so you doing all right?
I am. I'm doing all right.
We haven't heard you since like last year.
I know, right?
It
long
seems like
ago.
it's been so long, you know, a whole 4 weeks. You ready to have a spirited show, a spirited debate, and listen to people do stupid stuff so that we can ask, what the hell?
Absolutely.
You ready to do that?
Always.
All right, cool. And of course, you heard him last week. You hear him this week. You've been hearing him a lot on Ain't No Half Steppin with Marcus J, as well as other programming here on Legacy Internet Radio. You hear him a lot because he is part of the crew. He is my big brother. He is my partner and my homeboy and my greatest co-host for the night. We got Big Bro Joe here. What's up, man?
Hey, what it do, Marcus J? How you doing?
Doing all right, man. You good?
Hey, I got a small sniffle, but we're gonna make it work.
All right, well, just don't touch nothing, man. Just get like the Lysol and spray and stuff. Make sure. And I will expect payment for that absolutely fabulous introduction here momentarily. So,
you got it.
however we go about making that happen, and just make sure I get what I'm supposed to get. What we talked about earlier. I said nice stuff about you, so make sure you do what it do. But anyway, how Steppin Marcus J. We ready to get into the show. We got the crew here set up here at the very, very beginning, and we got a lot to get into. I teased a lot of it in the preview before we got live. And the first thing I want to get into, one thing that I did not tease at the preview, I'm going to get into it with you directly. We ain't going to waste no time. I'm going to ask you a simple question, and I want you to elaborate. I want the first word out of your mouth to be yes or no with an explanation. Yesterday, the Dallas Cowboys played a game against the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field at 1 p.m. The game was over at about 4:30. The game ended with a victory by the Green Bay Packers over the Dallas Cowboys. In that game, there was a disputed play, a pass thrown from Tony Romo, the quarterback, to DEZ Bryant, the wide receiver. The ball was caught on the 1-yard line. He was initially ruled as making the reception after a red flag was thrown by the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. That call was overturned. It was deemed not a catch because it was 4th and 1. The ball was turned over by downs, and the Dallas Cowboys never got an opportunity to go on offense again. They spent the rest of the game on defense. So the simple question I'll ask you is, was that a catch in your opinion?
In my opinion?
In your opinion.
As a football fan, in my opinion, it was a catch.
Okay, well, let's talk about it. In your opinion, it was a catch. And what I really, really like on this show is when people disagree with me so that we can have a debate, because when people agree with you, that's not good radio. So hopefully we're about to have some good radio because I completely disagree with you. So why don't you tell me why you think it was a catch? If you want to be a homer for the Dallas Cowboys, by all means, feel free. But if you as a football fan really honestly feel like it was a catch, let's talk about it.
No, I mean, well, we all know that I am a Dallas Cowboy fan, period. But that is what I am. But just looking back at the actual catch itself, was it a catch? Yes. They said, did he have control? Did he make a football move? And just listening to the ref, everybody that was sitting on that stage yesterday, from Howie all the way back down to your boy who played for the Giants, said the same thing. It was a catch. Now, the ref, I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name. I know you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah. And he was stuttering a little bit, trying to justify it. If you looked at the play, and the only angles that we actually saw were the ones where he went down, he had the ball in his hand, he outstretched, because he said that you had to catch the ball. He said, forget about the fact that, you make a step or a football move. If they would have called it a fumble and it would have went out of bounds, if they would have called it any other thing, I mean, I'd look at the play, several plays before when the Green Bay player did the same play, and he caught the ball, it hit the ground, but they ruled it a catch. I just disagree with the fact that, and not just saying that because, well, first of all, Dallas doesn't pay me not near a dime.
You just happen to be a fan.
I just happen to be a fan. And, I just think, I just think that was robbery for real. Everybody want to go back and say that, well, they got away with so much last week, with the Detroit Lions, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, you can say what you want to say, but really, so you're going to take one away for this one. I mean, there were a lot of key things in there that I disagree with. I disagree with the fact that the Cowboys call a timeout and they go back and reverse a call on a timeout that the Cowboys call, and then they don't give them the timeout back when they used it for a booth review. I'm like, really? Okay. Then the one, like I said, where the Green Bay Packers player caught the ball, and that's what I'm saying. I couldn't sit there and argue with him because I'm like, okay, turnabout is fair play, but he caught the ball. A football move. What is a football move? When you catch the ball, turn, and they said that he was falling. I'm like, okay, yeah, he was falling, but he actually lunged forward. That was a football move, and there's no way in the world you can tell me any different.
We got Sid listening to us, our brother. What up, bro? Sid is saying, no, it was not a catch. He is referring us to the Calvin Johnson catch against the Bears last season. Very similar play that was also ruled not a catch. Are you familiar with that play?
I heard about it yesterday. I didn't see that play.
Yeah, it was a play in the end zone where it was very similar. He catches it, he goes down, the ball comes out as he goes down. I look at it, and my initial reaction when I saw the play, when I first saw the play, before they even went to replays and all that kind of stuff while everybody is cheering, my initial reaction was, that's not a catch, why they cheering? And then when I realized that the red flag was thrown, I knew that was not a catch. And so I was just like, yeah, that's coming back. I never had an emotion. If you know me, I hate the Cowboys. I do. So whoever they play, I root against them. So, of course, I was rooting for Green Bay yesterday. And so I had the feeling like, they're going to be all right because that's coming back. Not only is it coming back, it's fourth down. So that's kind of what I was thinking. And then when you watch the play and then when you look at what the rule book says, based on the rule book, I don't think there's any question that there was not a catch there. I think what we are running into is you've got Cowboys fans and you've got people who are wide receiver friendly who say it's a catch. Our very own Odell Beckham Jr. of the New York Football Giants, who I root for, was outraged that was not a catch because that's something that he would do. Chris Carter, who is a Hall of Fame wide receiver, was outraged that was not a catch, even though he agreed with the fact that it was pulled back because of the law or the rule. But for the most part, everybody who has seen it that is wide receiver or Dallas Cowboy friendly says it was a catch.
Well, it's funny that you make that statement. Everybody else who said it wasn't a catch is just mad because they were sitting at home watching the game from their sideline and not playing. I mean, I get it. It's football. Everybody has their right to feel how they feel. I get it. I still say it was a catch. I wasn't a receiver. I was a big old lineman, rumbling, stumbling, and bumbling.
Yes, you were. Well, the thing is, man, it's hard for you and me to have this argument because you and I love football more than we love the New York Football Giants and the Dallas Cowboys.
True.
That's our relationship. But the issue that I have, and the reason why, not the reason, but one of the reasons, I hate the Cowboys. It's all in great fun. I thought Troy was great and Emmett was great. I think DEZ is probably the top 5 receiver I've personally ever seen in my life. And Tony Romo, while I wouldn't choose him as my own quarterback, is not a bad quarterback as many people would like to make him out to be. So I have no issues with individual Cowboys. Right. It's the obnoxious lot of fans that absolutely drives me crazy.
Hey, but you know what, though, on that note, either you should be supporting your own team. Why are you worried so much about the Cowboys?
I got you. And, I typically don't. I don't say.
Not you, but I'm just saying overall.
And that's true. And I think a lot of the discussion that you get on the Cowboys from non-Cowboys fans is in response to the obnoxious way that Cowboys fans, well, that's America's team, or we great,
please, come
kiss
on
the
now.
Star, we got 5, and all
know what?
that
You
kind
go
of
to
stuff.
Philly and you got some obnoxious fans.
They don't need to be obnoxious in Philly.
Yeah, they just obnoxious. My bad, Philly, but y'all obnoxious.
They've never won a Super Bowl. They don't get.
The Giants, y'all can be obnoxious too. We know that the DEZ. I'm waiting on Big Ruben to call in now, but hey, being from DC.
Yeah,
know that they are obnoxious. Yeah. We're obnoxious to death. But
yeah, I just I got certain people who I communicate with. One in particular, and I hope SS is listening. If you are, call in because I want to hear from you. 804-402-2893. If you're not, then so be it. But this is one of my brothers who I grew up with in Jersey City, and we've been battling and fighting for 25 years about stuff. And the truth of the matter is, I told him in October that, because he tagged me on a post on Facebook. I wasn't very happy about it, but he did. He was giving me a bunch of grief. And I said, look, man, my team stinks, and your team is great. And I said in October that the Cowboys were the best team that I had seen play up to that point. Did I not say that directly to you?
Did.
I said that, and because I'm a football fan first. And so when I said that, with the statement being my team stinks, your team is great, there's nothing really more to say. That's a drop the mic moment for me.
That's it.
So when I get tagged yesterday or this morning, oh, you ain't said nothing. Did you forget? What do you expect any fan of the NFC East other than the Philadelphia Eagles fans this season to say this season? If you are someone who conceded. I conceded 3 months ago.
Hey, you know what? I have no argument with you on that. You know what? And this is what I'm going to say to wrap up my portion on that. We lost our game because we lost our game. First of all, it shouldn't have been that close. I mean, I look at there was some breakdowns. First of all, you want to know where we lost the game? On the DeMarco Murray fumble.
Yeah.
That was it right there. I mean, we would never be put ourselves in that position.
Yep.
He hadn't fumbled since game 5.
Yeah, it didn't help that you missed a field goal either.
Oh, real? But
yeah,
that was still 4 points. That field goal wouldn't have helped as much.
Yeah, but it changes the course of the game. You miss that field goal, you get the ball midfield.
Twice.
Yeah.
He
you miss the field goal, then you get the ball right there in midfield versus you get those points and then you kick it. Maybe you kick it and they stop at the 1. Maybe you kick it and it gets fumbled, you get it back. So you can't really make one play and say that is one reason why you won or you lost, which is the reason. This is the last thing I want to get to. I want to get Tony in here in a minute. But what I don't like about a lot of the Cowboys fans is a week ago when a controversial call went in the favor of Dallas Cowboys, it was all good. It's part of the game. What's the problem? And everybody's smiling, how about them Cowboys and all that kind of stuff. And then this week comes, you got a controversial call. I mean, I have my personal feelings about it, but at the end of the day, there's enough people on both sides of the argument. It could have gone really either way. And it was the same last week. Now, all of a sudden, the refs are against us, and that was unfair, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, whining, people.
But it's not whining. I mean, you can say what you want to say. Yeah, it didn't go our way. All right. Like I said, they not paying me not one plug red nickel to get in there. I mean, they're not paying me a dime. I just see what I saw.
Yeah.
And like I said, the reason, and I'll go back one more time. We lost that game because we didn't put forth all of the effort that we should have. Like I said, DeMarco Murray fumbles the ball when he's headed to the end zone. If that doesn't happen, hey, because we were truly, I mean, honestly, I think we everybody want to sit there and say that we couldn't beat Green Bay. Next week was this week. No, we beat our own selves, and we sit there and say that too. Nobody else really was going to beat us. We beat our own selves in that game. And that's a fan talking.
What you think, Tony?
I have to say that based on the rule, it was not a catch.
Not a catch.
Clearly. I mean, in the sense of,
have you
played any football? No, I have not played any football.
Next.
But I got the rule right here in front of me.
Have you played any football?
And he clearly did not have a firm grip on the ball. He did not have control of the ball.
Yes, he did.
He absolutely did not.
Wait a minute. No. Even the ref said he had control. That wasn't even the issue. He said he caught the ball, he had control, but he did not follow all the way through. The ball moved because actually the ball can hit the ground if it doesn't move. If he hits the ground with the ball, it's still a catch.
All right. Well, here's the rule. Tony, you have the rule in front of you?
I have the rules right here.
All right, read the rule.
The
please.
rule: a receiver must have a firm grip and control of the ball once the catch is made.
Okay.
A receiver must have 2 feet down or any part of his body other than his hands down in the field of play.
Yeah.
And a receiver must make a football move in the field of play. Examples would include the ability to pitch the ball, turn under his own accord, and to advance the ball forward.
And he caught the. If you go back and look at the replay, he caught the ball. He had the ball palmed in one hand. He has made those catches, even your boy. That's what I'm saying.
But here's the second part of that rule, because she read it, but I'm going to finish it.
Okay, go ahead.
If a player goes to the ground in the act of catching a pass with or without contact by an opponent, he must maintain control of the ball throughout the process of contacting the ground, whether in the field of play or in the end zone. If he loses control of the ball and the ball touches the ground before he regains control, the pass is incomplete. If he regains control prior to the ball touching the ground, then the pass is complete.
But that's what I'm saying. If you look at the play, he palmed the ball when he went to the ground, and he had control of the ball. The ball wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, but when he hit the ground.
No, he hit the ground with the ball.
Yeah.
And then he rolled.
Yeah, and the ball hit the ground, and he didn't have it anymore.
No. Pull up the replay.
It was moving.
He had the ball in his hand.
I'm looking at the replay right now.
Okay, let's look at the replay.
And you can see.
I'm looking.
So.
Can you get your files on?
Oh, pardon me, sir. Now, see, I just watched it like 10 times, and now, of course, it won't pull
don't
up.
work, right? Just like the ref.
She was
You know what?
She was watching while you and I were discussing and pontificating.
Interference.
While we were pontificating on the whole thing.
All right. What we said, and there's the catch, and he goes down to the. Fios is not working.
Okay, now watch the slow motion. He has see that point where he had one hand on the end of the ball and the other hand in the middle of the ball. That's not control.
This is the.
as we watch the replay
And
here.
Damn. He had
No,
the ball.
but look when he fell and the ball just rolled over his arm. That's
rolled
not
over.
control.
No. He's in the. Okay. Well, you know what? It doesn't make a difference.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's
Yeah,
fun. It's
it's
fun. It's
over
fun
now.
to debate, and it's fun
Yeah.
not to to discuss it. But for me, the big deal is we can sit here and we can argue this, just like we did last week when we argued the pass interference. At the end of the day, you have the one team's going to be happy, the other team is not on a controversial call, and even the coach of the Dallas Cowboys said that it was not on one play. Quote, let me make this clear. This quote's from Jason Garrett. This game wasn't about the officiating. We had 60 minutes. We had an opportunity to come up here and win a football game. And at the end of the day, we didn't get the job done. The play was big in the game, but there were other plays in the game. And unfortunately, we didn't do the necessary things to win the ball game. That quote right there makes me love Jason Garrett.
I'm not mad
The
at you, and
former
that's
New York
exactly what I'm
Football
trying to
Giants
tell you.
backup, Jason Garrett.
There it is. Tell the truth.
And he kept it 100 about it. And, at the end of the day, I understand how frustrating it can be to lose. And there is a disputed play in the game that your emotions will make you feel like that was the reason why you won or you lost. But, ultimately you got the head coach of the team telling you that it wasn't about that one play. Ain't no how stepping. With Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. We thank you for listening to us on TuneIn. If you are listening to us on your computer, you can follow us on TuneIn in your smartphone, on your tablet, or any of your mobile devices. Just go to the app TuneIn and search Legacy Internet Radio, 3 words, and you will see our logo come up, and you will be able to hear all of the programming that we have here on Legacy Internet Radio. Let's move on. Talked a little bit about sports. We still bill ourselves as socially conscious talk that's entertaining with a dash of humor. And the top sports stories of the week. We did the top sports story of the week, so we're going to move on, and we're going to ask the question, what the hell? Tony, you ready to ask what the hell?
I'm ready.
All right, we're going to ask what the hell. And, of course, for those new listeners that we have, what the hell is a segment that we do when we tell random stories. Some of them are on the AP or the Associated Press wire. Some of them are current event stories, and some of them are just wacky, silly, I can't believe this person just did that type stories that nobody but the crew of Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J has ever heard of before we share it with you. This, I think, might be qualified as one of those stories. Big Bro Joe, I'm going to get your opinion after Tony. TheGrio.com is where I'm getting this one from. It says rapper Kevin Gates. So first of all, who the hell is rapper Kevin Gates? No one knows who rapper
Never heard of
Kevin
him.
Gates is. I'm not telling this story because I or anybody in the room gives a damn about rapper Kevin Gates. It's more about what rapper Kevin Gates has done that's kind of made me kind of give him, as some would say, the thyroid eye, or the cross eye. That's Lisa P likes to call it the thyroid eye. So give a shout out to her. But Louisiana rapper Kevin Gates said a lot of stuff on his Instagram, but 1.3 million followers were not expecting him to announce that he was, in fact, sleeping with his cousin. Gates revealed the news in an Instagram video, telling his followers that he had been sleeping with this woman for 3 months, and he recently found out that he's related to her. He was made aware of the family ties from his grandmother, and he replied, quote, "I'm not about to stop."
Wow.
A flood of comments questioning his situation started immediately, but he stood his ground, saying that people criticizing him would do the same thing if in his position, and he also said that he didn't grow up with his cousin, so he didn't have any concerns. Quote, "Why F up a good thing?" he asked his followers. So, Tony, let's talk about not so much rapper Kevin Gates, but let's talk about the insanely idiotic, stupid thing that rapper Kevin Gates is engaging himself in. And judging by the look on your face, I can only imagine what you're going to say. But why don't you tell the listeners what you think about this story?
It's absolutely disgusting, but unfortunately, oh so common.
I'm surprised it's not like Kentucky or Tennessee. No offense. Oh, West Virginia.
No, and that's what I said. I mean, I know people who have slept with their cousin.
Ew.
Yeah.
Was it like the third cousin?
No. It was first cousin.
Oh, hell no.
And they knew they were first
Oh,
cousin.
hell no. That's
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yo, that's just nasty.
Seriously?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's very common. They weren't ashamed.
Big Bro Joe, what you think, man?
Yo, he's an idiot, man. Quit playing. Sleep with my cousin. Get out of here. There's no way in the world you can justify that stupidity.
And what about her?
Oh, she's an idiot too.
Oh yeah, I mean he's rapper Kevin Gates, so we got the story because he's rapper Kevin Gates. But if she was rapper whoever female name, she would be catching it too. She gets to be anonymous because we don't know who she is.
All right, let me ask a quick question, I got to put it here because if you know Southern lore. Now, I'm going to go here for a minute.
We know where you're going. I kind of alluded to it a minute ago in a very poorly placed joke, disrespecting 3 states. But go ahead.
If you know Southern lore, a lot of times people back in the day didn't know who their true family was, which for me leaves a point that you raggedy fathers out there, make sure you taking care of your damn kids. My bad. I just had to put that in there because I feel some kind of way. But you know, back in the day, you know, the 60s, you know, people was sleeping with the cousins and didn't want, well, I don't even want Bessie to know that that Margie was her baby for real, but they was sisters, but they were playing like they were sisters, but it was really cousins and it was their mama's child.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that happens. And then when he said his grandmother told him.
Grandma told him.
You know, maybe he didn't know at the time, but if you, well, I'm just saying though, in Southern, come on, dude, you in Mississippi.
He's responding.
Mississippi.
He's responding to the look I just gave him.
I'm just saying, you know, in Mississippi, he gonna get on the gun line, boss.
said, there you go. Because he's talking to me because I took a shot at his state. He's taking a shit. I took a shot at the state.
Hey, but no, come on now. Now we do know that has happened, and maybe I can't even justify it. I don't know why I'm gonna do this, but maybe he didn't know. But when you found out,
he knows. Right.
But when you found out, what should you do then?
Stop.
You should stop, right? But what if it was good to you?
Yeah.
That is disgusting.
Is it good to you? Heavy D said it.
Oh my God!
Not your cousin.
Hey, look, I'm sorry, Sid. So because I took a shot at Sid State, you know, I just play a little bit, you know.
Arrested.
Yeah, sorry, Sid. That's why you get my brother.
That's an arrestable development.
You know, but here's my deal with it, man. I mean, anytime you have been given, you know, the right or the wrong, and you choose to do wrong, then you chose to do wrong. Said you're right. This stuff does happen everywhere. We know, obviously, it happened in Louisiana. So I was picking on you, but there's always been like that inside joke, particularly about West Virginia. Come on, now. We always know, but
well, that's
you
true,
know that absolutely can happen anywhere. In this case, it was Louisiana. But I mean, if you know better and you choose not to do better, then that's kind of, you know, it's kind of on you. I think we've all been placed in a position in our lives when we were doing things that we knew we shouldn't be doing, and
not doing my cousin.
Not with your cousin.
Well, I'm not even referring specifically to that. I'm just saying, you know, once he was made aware,
that's a whole nother wrong.
It is.
Like you need your spirit cleansed.
No, it does, because I mean, he is trying to justify. Now, here's the other thing with it, man. I read this article a couple of days ago about twins. And it was like 17 twin facts. And it was saying, and this is completely unrelated, but I thought that it was interesting to let you know how, you know, to make the point of how extra nasty it is that it is his cousin. Did you know that if twin males had children with twin females, that all of the children from both sets of unions are biologically
brothers and sisters?
Yeah, that's so
yeah.
so gross.
You know, so when you think about it like that, it's obviously different, and we get that it's different, but it's even nastier when you think about that. But you know, my thing is, he was made aware of this information. He chose to do nothing with it. That makes him.
Yeah, when is he getting arrested?
Well, if they're consenting adults, I guess it doesn't matter.
I don't
but
know.
my thing is, what are you trying to, like? What is the point of broadcasting that?
Oh, that's just come on now. No publicity is bad publicity, especially for rapper Kevin Gates. What's his name is?
That's
with
gross.
his rapper Kevin Gates with 1.3 million followers on Instagram. I never even heard of it.
Yeah, I never heard of this dude. But you know, that's a Louisiana thing too. They all cousins. Quit kissing yourself.
You crazy as hell. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. This segment right here that we're gonna do before we take a break is just full of just silly what the hell type stuff. This one, and shout out to our co-host SY. If she was here, I would ask her, where did I get this from? And she would tell me, the Huffington Post. This woman finds out that she's pregnant, and she gave birth to a 10-pound baby an hour later.
That happens.
This was on Tuesday. Katie Kropus asked her grandmother to drive her to the hospital because she had some stomach pains. There she learned she was 9 months pregnant. She gave birth to a healthy 10-pound, 2-ounce baby girl 1 hour after learning she was pregnant, according to the local news outlet. Quote, at the time, I was like, this has got to be a joke, but I had no idea what to think. She was reportedly on birth control, had relatively regular periods, and attributed the weight gain to holiday eating. When her boyfriend, Dan Keefe, of 2 years, learned what was happening, he immediately called her mom, who thought that he was kidding. So there's more. Here's another quote. They just say you were carrying around the 10 extra pounds and didn't know it. I didn't know why I didn't know. I mean, I'm just excited. I appreciate everybody who is helping her out. And that's from her. And then there is a scientist who has a quote in here. Quite simply, women do not know they're pregnant because they have no symptoms, no weight gain, no nausea, a little to no abdominal swelling. They may still have periods or have always had irregular periods. If they have symptoms, they're so subtle as to be easily mistaken for something else, indigestion perhaps. So Tony, as the resident lady in the room, I need you to tell me something about this story.
I'm sorry. I am not one who buys into that. I didn't know I was pregnant. I have been pregnant, and I know everybody's symptoms are different, but there is something that happens to all of you, not just your body, but you change as a person. Your hair is different. Everything is different. Everything smells different. The world looks different when you're pregnant. How do you not know you're 14 months pregnant? And then this baby. Did you see her? She's like 3.
Did she come out with teeth?
Yeah. Did you see the baby?
Yeah, I saw
I didn't see the baby.
She looks like a toddler.
Yeah, I said so.
You said 14 months. What is she? That's an
I don't
elephant.
know.
I caught that too. I was like, huh? What?
No, she looks like a kindergartner.
She does have a big baby here. I'm efforting.
10 pounds? Yeah, 10 pounds is that's not
look at that.
the picture of the baby we're showing here in the crew.
At least the baby's cute.
You know. I mean, yeah, I guess
10 pounds?
I guess the baby is cute, but that I don't know, big bro. What do you think, man? I mean,
hey, I mean, I've been told. I mean, I don't know because I ain't had not one baby.
Yeah.
So I have no idea.
Yeah, I've never been pregnant.
I mean, when my kids came around, I had no symptoms either. I mean, you know, it was whatever. I mean, you salty.
I was happy. That was a symptom for me.
Oh, okay.
I was joyous.
Not fair.
What do you mean it's not fair? You want to make it that kind of conversation?
No,
we
it's
can.
fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
you really don't want to
You
go
don't want to
there.
have that not with us.
No,
Yeah,
it's
you-
fine because you know what? I was actually having this conversation with a coworker the other day, and we agreed that women have it really tough for like the first part of our lives with being women and stuff.
Yeah.
But then after that, like men have it tough because you guys lose your hair.
Because we got to put up with y'all.
Yeah, and you get like ED and all that kind of stuff.
What
and
is ED? I ain't got no Ed. Yeah,
They got a pill for that.
You
Not
sure
yet.
do.
And when it's time, I will have no shame. I'm gonna tell you that.
That's right.
Anyway.
Some people gonna be embarrassed about that.
You don't have no complaints.
It's
Look,
all right.
I'm gonna tell you
It's all
something.
right.
If you got a headache, you're gonna pop a BC, right?
There it is, real quick.
It's all right. Old balls go to Tiffany's.
Wow.
That's what
She really want to go
That's
there?
what Joan Rivers said.
Yeah,
Old balls go to Tiffany's.
That's why she got like 42 new faces
yeah.
She had.
before she
Oh, that's right. She took that long nap. I forgot.
peace.
Yeah. Ain't no half Steppin Marcus Jay. Live from the Den Legacy Internet Radio. As you can see, we in here wilding, and we ain't the only ones in here wilding. I'm still working from the Huffington Post. These last 2 stories I got from the page that they call Weird News. Also from the Huffington Post Weird News. You know I like to read headlines before I get into the story. So the headline on this one simply says, Florida couple allegedly caught getting freak nasty on a Kia at a dealership, is what it says. It's a white girl and a black dude. And we're looking at the photograph here, and I mean, you know, we all have our jokes about interracial dating and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to make this about that, but at least when you see, you know, those couples, whether they be, you know, mixed couples, or you see, you know, a dude and a lady of the same race, you know, you at least want them to look like they belong together. You know what I mean? Like, these two couldn't possibly be less physically compatible based upon just the headshots here. I might be tripping, but you know, you telling the truth. They just don't look like they match. But the article reads that sex on a car, not in a car, but sex on a car is a common fantasy. But a Florida couple turned it up a notch when they decided to get down at Mike's Auto Sales on a 2004 Kia Sedona. Ramon Mitchell and Aaron Bird apparently don't follow the standard rules of engagement. They could have chosen a Lamborghini, but nay, they chose the Kia Sedona at Mike's Auto Sales in West Palm Beach. Yes, the Kia, whose accolades include one of the worst-selling models of 2014, and there is a photograph of the Kia Sedona along with the photograph of the two sexy people.
What do they do with that?
It says on. It didn't say in. So you know, figure that one out for yourself, big bro. But witnesses called the cops at 3 a.m. to report a naked couple having sex on top of a car. The caller said that he could hear, or she could hear, moaning coming from the dealership parking lot. So he investigated. The couple reportedly saw him and started yelling at him. You can't make this stuff. You cannot make this. You cannot make this up. Now, when police arrived, Bird, who's 18, that's the female, and Mitchell, who's 29, were sitting in the Kia, which the dealership owned, not them. Mitchell reportedly spat in the officer's face, and both were charged with lewd and lascivious behavior, trespassing, and burglary. Mitchell was also slapped with the charge of assaulting the officer. The officer was taken to a nearby hospital for the, quote, biohazard exposure. Bird was released from Palm Beach County Jail Tuesday, while Mitchell was being held on $11,000 bail. Like I said, you can't make this stuff up. Big bro, you up first. What you think, man?
First of all, I'm looking at a Kia. What is it? A Sedona?
It's a Kia Sedona.
And I would slide my big ass slide.
Right down the hood.
Right down the hood. No, really?
Be rolling in the parking lot.
Hey, at least get in it. They got tinted windows and everything. I mean, look, I'm thinking they were, you know, working on this fantasy. She 18. She kind of looked like she was spaced out on something. He was giving her, you know, look at that dude.
Yeah, he looked like a criminal.
Yeah, he looked like a he looked like
he
a
got
criminal.
a knot on his head.
Yeah, somebody whooped him too.
He got a knot on his head.
I think that's the way he spat on the police. That's what happened with that one.
Right,
he got the broken seatbelt.
Yeah, he got the Tom and Jerry knot that when you see that joint just swell up on
instantly. And look at her mouth. She got the crooked joint like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
Like she just, you know what? I think that was a case of I'm going to get it back in my mama and daddy.
Yeah, it might be. You know, it's the white girl with the black dude and she's 18 and, you know, who knows? It's in Florida. I mean, I don't know enough about how Florida rolls to know if this, I mean, it's not like it's L.A. If it's L.A., I wouldn't even trip off of it being interracial because we know how common it is in other areas, maybe not so much. But she doesn't look 18 to me. She looks a little bit weathered for that. But Tony, when you see this story, what you think? They getting freak nasty? I mean, getting freak nasty in a car, I have absolutely zero problem with doing that. I just don't. You know, you can say what you want about me, but on top of a car,
I ain't got no problem with that neither. But in the middle of a car lot?
Somebody else's car. Tony, what you think, man?
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
So, Tony, you ain't never got freak nasty on top of a car?
If I did, it would be my car.
Hey,
the car goes to Mike's. Go to the dealership. You couldn't find a Honda dealership?
Mike's Auto Sales.
And that's why she's on drugs. He sells drugs and uses them occasionally. Clearly.
Mike's Auto Sales.
Mike's. You know, that's a hood joint, though. Quit playing.
Here's the question.
Look at that car. Why would you sell? Why would you?
Here's the question that neither one of y'all addressed. Who's this jackass out at 3 o'clock in the morning that sees them and snitches?
Didn't they say a neighbor?
They're
heard moaning?
at Mike's Auto Sales in the middle of the hood.
Who else is at Mike's?
In the middle of the night.
And to be honest with you, I mean, a little bit of hood in me gonna come out, a little bit of the freak nasty in me gonna come out. You gonna snitch though, for real?
I think he probably snitched because they got mad because they won't get none.
Yeah, man, you snitching?
I would call the police. I call the police when my neighbors play music outside that's too loud.
Really?
You're that neighbor.
Yes, I am that neighbor.
Oh,
Okay.
see.
All right, Miss Bonita.
You got cats? You got
No,
cat
I don't
lady?
have cats.
You not the cat lady? She the cat lady?
No.
Cat lady and shit.
No, but I think that's inconsiderate. I got to go to work in the morning. Shut up. That's what earphones are for.
What
Why don't you put them in then?
And what about that night when it happens to be you?
I don't do things like that because I'm an adult
Oh, okay.
and I'm considerate of my neighbors.
Okay. She's taking the high road, Joe.
Bye,
Just
Felicia.
leave her alone. Yeah, he hit you with bye, Felicia. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. We're getting ready to take our first break of the night. But when we come back, we're going to take a decidedly little more serious turn. We're going to talk about the New York Police Department and their work stoppages and what it has produced. And what this religious leader did to a child that had issues with believing will absolutely outrage you. But we're going to lead off with Fox News. We talk about them here occasionally on the show. You know that I am an independent who leans a bit to the left, while I do have some right conservative views, not nearly as much as Big Brother Joe. I just think that Fox News has some interesting perspectives, and the one that we're going to talk about is about racial profiling. On the heels of what happened in France last week, some of their comments will leave you somewhat scratching your head. Marcus J, Big Joe, and Miss Tony. Ain't no half step on Marcus J. We're going to have a word from our sponsor. We're going to have a word from Fox, and we're going to come back and talk about it. Ain't no half step on Marcus J. Be back here in just a minute.